Look, I don't have a lot else to talk about. There's not a lot of other concepts I really want to bring up in this week's video, so I'm just going to talk about the new cards and gush over Avatar: The Last Airbender because it's an amazing show. The fact that we're getting these cards is great, and I understand that we have Spider-Man looming next, and I love Spider-Man, and I haven't even talked about most of those cards, and that's true, and I should, and maybe next week I will. But we got a few spoilers for these cards, and I figured I'd talk about them now, because why not? Um, Honestly, that's just where I'm at. So anyways, Aang Airbending Master is for white for a 4/4 human, a legendary creature, human avatar ally, that when it enters, airbend another target creature. So how does airbending work? You exile a creature, and then while it's exiled, its owner may cast it for 2 generic rather than its mana cost. So exile another target creature. This means you can either exile your creature and be able to get stuff of it. The cool thing is that you're recasting it, so not only do you get ETBs like normal flickering and blinking, but you also get cast triggers. So if you exile like a really big Eldrazi, you can then recast it for 2, getting its cast trigger. I think Aang is fun in that regard. Now, it also has more abilities. Whenever one or more creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, you get an experience counter, so you're getting more experience counter stuff to really help you do like a $5 experience counter deck. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you create a 1/1 white ally creature token with for each experience counter you have. So this is a blink deck where you really want to blink stuff, but the airbending is interesting. So number one, depending on how many airbending cards we get, will depend on if you can just build a full airbending deck abusing it. But at this point, what you might want to do is just look at running flickering cards. Flicking stuff means the creature will leave without dying, and then you'll be able to get more counters, and the more counters will equal more tokens on your turn, and the more tokens, which are allies, mind you, so you can run a sideboard of any of the good mono white ally cards that trigger when an ally enters. And since like 5 or 6 might be entering, that's a lot of triggers there. That's really good in that regard. So there's a lot of stuff you can do here, honestly. I really like the concept here. I think this is a really pushed card in a lot of ways, and will probably be one of the better mono white decks, just because it does a lot, and I mean a lot. It's both it's a way to cheat around cast triggers, so you can re-trigger any whenever you cast this card. It's a simple flicker deck, and white has the most flicker cards in it. You can flicker it just to exile it, so you can have just to have it enter, so you can airbend something, which could be used to get rid of a problematic card your opponent has, stopping you from winning. It's a token deck, which people love, and it's a counter deck, which people love. So any doubling counters can be very useful. There's a lot it's doing. I like this card. I'm excited to build with it. Okay. Next up is Aang's Iceberg. This is a simple 2 and a white for an enchantment with flash, and when it enters, exile up to one other target non-land permanent until the enchantment leaves the battlefield. And then for waterbend 3, you can sacrifice this enchantment. If you do, scry 2. Now waterbending is simple. While paying a waterbending cost, you may tap your artifacts and creatures to help. Each one pays for 1 generic. So this waterbending is 3. The way this is supposed to work is, so airbending is supposed to be like you push something away or you disappear, and you can come back when you're ready, right? So you're like all over the place. Poof, I'm gone. I'm back. I'm gone. I'm back. You're gone. You're back. All that cool stuff, right? Whereas waterbending is like a wave. You tap a bunch of stuff and you're like working together. That's all push, right? I'm not just going to pay 3 mana, right? I'm going to tap Aang, Katara, and Sokka, and Sokka's not a waterbender, but you can, and then boom, 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 and then you get it. It's kind of this cool wave, and that really makes it feel more useful. I think it's such a unique idea, right? So, is this card good? I mean, what's the old guy that did the same thing for enchantment? I forget the name of it. No one runs them anymore. This is okay. It's 3 for a flash version of that. The exile is one other target non-land permanent until he's battlefield. So being 3-drop with flash to do this effect isn't bad. Okay? And then having a second way to get it back, but also allowing you to scry is kind of interesting. If someone's going to pop it, you can just go, I'm going to just tap these 3 creatures. Yeah, it's an enchantment, so you can't tap it. But I'm going to tap this equipment and these 2 creatures to pop it while you target it. So at least I get a scry 2 off it. It's probably the best version of that. Is it good? It's a good removal spell in an Enchantress deck. Aang's Journey, we're getting lessons. This does not affect Commander. Until Wizard of the Coast says, yeah, you know, we really want lessons to, like, be usable in Commander, so you can have a lesson sideboard, right? You're not going to see that. But is it good itself? This is too generic, right? Aang's Journey, too generic for a sorcery. Kicker 2, okay, so you can put 2 additional for something else. Search your library for a basic land card. If the spell is kicked, instead search your library for a basic land card and a shrine card. Reveal this card, put them into your hand, then shuffle. You gain 2 life. Maybe? Like, if you're really in, like, a 5-color deck, this could fix it. You could be like, okay, this is too generic. Anything can pay for it, and I can get a basic land in my hand so that I know that I can at least get something. If you're in a shrine deck, yeah, put this in your deck. Or to get a basic land in your 5-color shrine deck along with a shrine, yeah. But outside of shrines, maybe. Maybe in 4 or 5-color casual decks that need a way to fix their. Appa, Steadfast Guardian is 2 and 2 white for a 3/4 legendary creature Bison ally. Here's the thing. Before I read anything, Appa is going to be everywhere. I don't care if he's good or bad. Everyone loves Appa. Especially this cute version of Appa. The armored Appa, pretty cool. Pretty badass. That Appa? I mean, he's got his eye, his paw. You see the other parts of him? And his tongue. He's doing the whole tongue thing, guys. He's adorable. I'm building him. Shut up. Anyways, this is a 3/4 Bison ally with flash and flying. So you can cast this on anyone's turn. It's a flyer. You can hit people. But is it doing anything? Well, when it enters, you airbend any number of other target non-land permanents you control. So, someone goes to board wipe. You can go flash and Appa. Boom. Yes, Appa's going to disappear to the board wipe, but everyone else is just gone. Non-land permanents. Oh, they're all gone. Or, like, all the creatures, save them. All the artifacts, whichever one, right? Then, whenever you cast a spell from exile, you get to create a 1/1 white ally creature token, okay? So, what are we doing with Appa as a commander? What's his goal? Number 1, he works fantastic with Aang. Go figure. Either Appa as the commander or Aang, you can honestly swap between them, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a deck that works for both of them. But what is Appa doing? Appa's saying, hey, let's just fill the deck with any ETB or cast trigger little cards. Just small 1 and 2 drops. And then I'm going to cast Appa and then exile all of them. Exile 10 cards, right? And then I'm going to recast them all. And since I cast a spell from exile, Appa's going to be like, here's a friend, there's a friend, here's a friend, where's a friend, there's a friend, that's a friend, this is a friend, there's a friend, here's a friend, yeah. And you get all these Appas, friends for Appa, that beats up more guys. Appa rules. Anyway, here's the first card we got spoiled, Avatar Aang. Is he good? Yes. And now we know what the card does. So, he is... well, he would be sans black, but he's got black on the back here. So he's a 5-color commander, and he's got this really expensive card that apparently is going to be really expensive. Anyway, he is sans black, 4/4 legendary creature, human avatar ally, with flying, so he can hit people, and firebending 2. Now, we now know that firebending means that whenever you attack, Firebending 2. 1 second. I wanted to make sure I got this right, because some people are confusing this. Firebending isn't equal to its power. That's Zuko's ability. Okay, we'll get to him later. But Firebending 2 means when Aang attacks, you get to add 2 red to your mana pool that disappears at the end of combat, okay? So what is that 2 red going to be used to doing while you're going in? Well, either you can add some red instants and sorceries to your deck. Don't suggest that. Or just activated abilities, guys. I mean, put some cool activated abilities. You know it's 2, so look for cards. Honestly, I mean, maybe some good red instances, but look for good red instances and good activated abilities that just cost 2. And then you can toss them in the deck, okay? And then whenever you water bend, earth bend, fire bend, or air bend, draw a card. Now, here's the thing. Ignore everything else. Whenever you do that, you draw a card, which means whenever Aang attacks, you're drawing a card. So at face value, this is a Wooburg commander that's a 4/4 flyer that attacks, gives you 2 mana to do something at instant speed, and since you fire bend right there, you automatically draw a card every time he attacks. Let alone if you decide to add any other card to the deck that has them. Yes, this is the commander casually that's just going to run a bunch of water bending, earth bending, fire bending, and air bending to trigger his effects, draw a bunch of cards, and then if you get all 4, because if you've done all 4 of this turn, transform Avatar Aang into Aang, Master of Elements. This is a 6/6 Avatar ally with flying. Spells you cast cost Wooburg less to cast. This can reduce generic costs. I don't know if that is a misnomer. Usually it says this can't reduce generic costs, but if it can reduce generic costs, it means if it's blue and 2 generic, this would be free. I don't think it can. I think that is a misprint on the card. It usually says this can't reduce generic costs. We'll find out later. At the beginning of each upkeep, you may transform Egg, Master of Elements. If you do, you gain 4 life, you draw 4 cards, you put 4 1/1 counters on him, and it deals 4 damage to each opponent. Pretty cool. If you have a cycle where you can keep flipping him every turn, and then hitting them for 6, and then flipping him back to gain 4 life, draw 4, put 4 1 counters on him to get bigger, because transforming doesn't flicker, stays there, and then deal 4 damage, you can get something good going. I think this will be a menace casually. Competitively, I don't think you flip it. I think you just fire bend and get some cool cards on a 5 color that costs 4 mana to cast. The biggest issue is that it's 4 individual pips, but I think you'll see him competitively. I think because he draws you a card with fire bending, and you might be able to find some interesting things you can do with the 2. There's probably something here. And maybe there's some infinite that you can find with flickering and stuff to trigger one of the abilities to draw your deck. We'll find out. I'm not sure, but I do like it. Up next is Avatar Enthusiast. This is a 2 and a white for a 2/2 human peasant ally, and whenever another ally you control enters, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. If you're running an ally deck and you need another ally, I guess he's not the best. I like it in Pauper. Earthbending lesson has already been seen broking stuff, so this is 3 and a green for a sorcery lesson. Earthbend for target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature with haste that's still a land. Put 4 1/1 counters on it when it dies, or is exiled, return to the battlefield tapped. It's not doing a lot, but there are lands that have infect or turn into infect creatures, and so then when you turn into a creature with this guy, all of a sudden instead of a 1/1 creature with flying and infect, it's a 5/5 creature with flying and infect. I like it, but not a commander. But it does earthbend, so like I would toss this in my Aang deck, you know. Fated Firepower is X and 3 blue or 3 red for an enchantment with flash. This enchantment enters with X fire counters on it. If a source you control would deal combat damage to, or would deal damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus an amount of damage equal to the number of fire counters on this enchantment instead. So here's the thing. It's kind of a cool card because it's unique, right? This enchantment enters with X fire counters on it. You can get that bigger. Any proliferation will get the fire counters higher, and then you'll be doing more damage whenever a source you control does. This is great. This is a card that you'll see play a lot in any of the decks. I like how it's Iroh that's Iroh, and then they've got the cool Aang and Zuko learning the colors of fire. But Fated Firepower is this cool thing where if you're in a proliferate deck that's also dealing damage, like all of a sudden your 1-drop pings can do a lot. Now it's a very specific deck you're looking at, but even outside of that, if you're like late game and you're playing a ping deck, Like the original, I think it's the original Rakdos that lowers stuff equal to the amount of damage your opponents take. Those are pinging. But if you can get Fated Firepower out and X is like 5, now they're dealing 6 damage. That's great. Firelord Ozai is 3 and a black for a 4/4 human noble that when it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, you add an amount of red equal to the sacrificed creature's power. Until into combat, you don't lose this mana as steps in. So that is firebending, but because it wasn't, since you had to sacrifice something to get it, yeah. But sacrificing a big power creatures, those ones that die, that gets you a lot of mana, and then you can use that to either, usually to activate his ability, his 6. Exile the top card of each opponent's library until the end of turn. You may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost. That's fine. That's the whole point of Firelord Ozai is he triggers himself, right? You play big creatures with like 4, 5, 6 power. You attack with Firelord Ozai, you sacrifice it, you get 6 mana. Yeah, trigger his effect to exile everyone's a card off the top of each opponent's deck, and then cast one for free. So it's interesting. It is, I guess, because there's a red there. It is Rakdos, which is cool. I like that. Firelord Zuko is red, white, black for a 2/4 human noble ally with firebending X, where X is its power. So if you get it bigger, it gets stronger. Now, whenever you cast a spell from exile, and whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, you put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. This is because he's friends with Aang, and he works with Aang. So Aang comes in and he's like, "Oh yeah, poof poof, it's gone. Poof poof, it's back." You flip, your airbend stuff because you exile it. Boom, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, and then it comes back. You put a 1/1 counter on each creature you cast it. So. Oh, yeah, whenever you cast a spell from exile, whenever... Oh, enters from it, yeah, so if you flicker something. But technically speaking, if it's a permanent and you exile it, you cast it from exile and it enters, I think that double triggers then. We'll have to wait to see if they, again, misword anything. Cool card art there, too. The originals, but it's also no words, and I hate that, so not using the card. But it's too many words here. You can't have a card that has not fun. Not fun. Someone's gonna use that, and I was gonna be like, what the heck is super? But anyway, I like it. I think it's interesting. I think it's doing a lot. And on top of that, I don't know. I guess you just want to kind of flicker things, and you're in white, so you can flicker things pretty well. And that'll get everything bigger, including Zuko, which will give you that mana to do stuff. And again, anything that you can dump the mana into is pretty good. Fire Nation attacks is 4 and a red for an instant. Create 2/2 red soldier creature tokens with firebending 1. And then flashback for 8 and a red. I think this card's bad. I don't think you're going to see it anywhere, honestly. It's not great. It's not doing much. Maybe in, like, Aang's deck, because it does get you 2 guys with firebending 1. Both would be firebending. Both would draw you cards. So that could be useful there. Here's a reprint, Force of Negation. I think it's kind of cool because he's using his Force to negate it, but I also think this art, I get it. It's supposed to be like from the show, but it looks like it's a screenshot, guys. It's so bad. It's so bad, dude. Like, that looks so cool. Why would you just, like, then steal a screenshot? It's so blurry. Blown up. It just looks like a zoomed in screenshot straight from the show, and I hate it. These arts are great because they have Appa in them. Therefore, they are the best arts. No, see, some people are saying these are the best arts. They're wrong. The Appa ones are the best arts because they have Appa in them. This is one with the, this is the Eastern Air Temple. This is the iceberg that they first see. Katara, the Fearless. This is Bant, so green, white, blue for a 3/3 legendary creature, human warrior ally. That if a triggered ability of an ally you control triggers, that ability triggers in a time. New ally commander. New, very simple 3-color ally. I like it. It's a simple ally commander. Okay, so like, here's a cool art, but here's the super expensive art because it's colored, it's URL convention promos. You can only get it at the convention. Here's a $100 card, and that's one of her cool outfits. But here's the thing. I like this outfit. I think this sexualizes her too much, and she's a child. Sexualize her, guys. She's a kid. But I think Katara's really cool. I think the card's cool. I like that it's an ally commander. That's not General Tazrin. But the best allies you can find in the deck. Katara, Waterbending Master. 1 and a blue for a 1/3 legendary creature human warrior ally that whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you get an experience counter. Whenever Katara attacks, you draw a card. For each experience counter you have, if you do, discard a card. This is gross. This is probably going to see play maybe competitive. Like, whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you get an experience counter, right? Yeah, here's all my instances that I'm just going to cast on your turns. Boom, 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 boom. Experience, experience, experience. Just 2-drop, guys. She comes out turn 1 and it's right? Here's all these experience. Then she attacks when you have 5 experience. I'm going to draw 5 cards and discard 1. Yeah, I think she can be gross. And even outside of that, guys, yeah, Katara's gross. This is just blue being blue. This is a lot of card draw. It's weird that she's a waterbending master and does not have waterbending on here. But anyway, I think it's still cool, guys. And then Katara, Water Tribes Hope is 2 a white and 2 blue for a 3/3 human warrior ally with vigilance. And when it enters, you get a 1/1 ally warrior, a 1/1 white ally creature token. Now this one has Waterbend. So Waterbend X. Creatures you control have base power and toughness XX until end of turn. X can't be 0. Activated only during your turn. While you're paying on it, so it's got the waterbending, so you can tap it. You can tap a bunch of stuff, artifacts, right, to buff all your creatures. Just tap your like 10 artifact tokens or clues, because this isn't blue. So like tap 10 clues, and then all your creatures are 10/10s. Go punch something. I think it's good. I think it's doing a lot. I like the waterbending aspect in that regard. I honestly like that art too. I think this is a fantastic card. I think this is a better card. This is like the unique one with like, oh, it's allies. Yeah, cool. We wanted a new ally commander. This is like saying, hey, check this out. This is a really good, strong commander. And this is saying, hey, check this out. This is a really good, strong commander. But a different kind of commander, you know? And you can just flicker Katara a bunch to get the allies. And here's the other card that you're going to see a bunch of. Momo. Momo Friendly Flyer. And the reason you're going to see Momo is because everyone likes Momo and Appa. They're the 2 most popular characters in Avatar, probably, as far as my friend group. So, 1 white for a 1/1 lemur bat ally with flying, and the first non-lemur creature spell with flying you cast during each of your turn costs 1 less to cast. And whenever another creature you control with flying enters, Momo gets +1/+1 till end turn. So you're just running a bunch of small flyers and casting them, and they all cost 1 less. And then 1 generic less, and then Momo gets bigger every time 1 comes. Just until end of turn. So you're trying to like cast like 3 of them, and then Momo gets big. Like 3+. I don't think it's great, but it's kind of fun. So. He's also an ally, so putting this in Katara's. And there's Mountain. This is the Great Divide, I think. I like that. And here's Bossing Say. And just, I think, like, what, 10 more cards here? If it wants to go, come on. Yeah, we just got a few more cards here. Redirect Lightning's kind of a cool card. 1 red for an instant lesson with, as an additional cost to cast a spell, pay 5 life or pay 2 more. Change the target of target spell ability. Single target. I think this is great. I think this will see play a lot because it is that really, that art's awesome. Love. That, both arts are great here. I love the coloring and stuff. But the redirecting lightning is such a cool idea. And for 1 red and just losing 5 life to just redirect a target spell or ability, I like that. I think that's great. Great protection. Sokka's Bold Boomeranger. Oh, Sokka Bold Boomeranger is blue and a red for a 1/1 human warrior ally. And when it enters, he can't actually, he's got red. This one cannot be in Katara's deck. When Sokka enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. When you cast an artifact or lesson spell, put a 1/1 counter on Sokka. Okay, you don't really want to flicker him, so he's kind of got this like kind of cool, like, oh, it enters, it discard 2, draw 2. But then whenever you cast an artifact, this is just equipment. Just equip it, get it bigger. I'm just a guy with a boomerang. I think it's cool. I don't think he's great, but he will just be another good Voltron commander, right? Run a bunch of artifact equipment. Every time you cast one, he'll get a 1 counter. You can add some lessons if you want. But all these artifacts, they'll buff him, and then you just put them on him to play. Takazaiku is the coolest card in the set. It's 3 and 2 blue for an instant lesson. So here it's a lesson, so you're learning. Counter target spell. Draw a card, then mill 3 cards. Untap target. That's 3/5/3, so it's a haiku. So. I love it. I think everything about it is fantastic. Plus, so you're countering target spell, which is like a retort, right? You draw a card, then mill 3 cards, right? So this is you gaining something, but then you have to lose stuff. And then you untap a target land, which allows you to keep going, right? Try it again. I like it. It's fun. Is it a good card? No. Southern Air Temple. This is one of the shrines. 3 and a white for a legendary enchantment shrine. When it enters, you put X one counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of shrines you control. And whenever another shrine you control enters, you put a 1 counter on each creature you control. This is a great way to spread the love to all your creatures and buff everything. There's Swamp. There's the bayou, the great, I don't know, it's the tree. Swamp area. The Cabbage Merchant, legendary creature, so you can play cabbages, right? I've never seen him before, though. 2 and a white, or 2 and a blue, green? 2 and a green. 2 and a green for a 2/2 legendary creature, human citizen. That whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, you create a food token. It's an artifact with pay 2, tap, sacrifice. Yeah, you know what a food is, right? So yeah, whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, you're going to get a food token. That's a lot of food tokens. What are you doing then? Well, whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, you sacrifice a food token. That's hilarious, because they keep destroying this random person's cabbage path. And then you can tap 2 untapped foods you control to add 1 mana of any color. So all those foods you're getting, they're ramp. It's doing green stuff. It's ramping for you. I like it. I think it's fun because it says whenever an opponent, and I love cards like that. So running this deck, it's all about kind of like a control tempo mid-range deck where you're just like, come on, don't touch me, don't do anything, just cast your non-creature spells. I'm going to make more food. Oh, look. Here, I'm tapping 10 food for 5 mana and all these lands. Here's a big creature. This is just the Great Henge. You guys know what the Great Henge is. And again, I hate the art. I think it looks absolutely shite. It's just another picture from the show. And I love the show's, like, how the show looks, but I think the card looks chintzy. The Rise of Sozin. This is 4 and 2 black for a Enchantment Saga. Its chapter 1 is to destroy all creatures. Cool. It's chapter 2. Choose a creature, or choose a card name. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name, and then exile them. Then that player shuffles. Target opponent, so yeah. And then for -11, exile this log and then return to the battle transform control. You get Firelord Sozin. This is a 5/5 legendary creature, human noble with menace and firebending 3. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may pay X. When you do, put a number of target creature cards with total mana value X or less from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield. So, here's how this card works. Okay. No, you cannot technically run him as your commander because the legendary is on the background. Yes, if you were at my table, I would tell you, please, just run it. I think it's a cool card. And I hate that you can't run it. There's a legendary card on the back of it that is a creature. Please, get over yourself, guys. But for 6 mana, you pop all the creatures. So now all the creatures are gone. Then, you're choosing a creature, and they're going to go and exile them. So you're just saying, no, get rid of all those problematic cards. I don't want them here, okay? Then, you get to exile it and return it. Bam. Next turn, right? I mean, it's a transform, so I think it's been here. I don't remember how that works. Look it up. But it attacks. It's a 5/5 with a menace and firebending 3. So you're going to get 3 mana at least. And when it deals combat damage to your player, right, you may pay X. So you can just pay 3. And when you do, put any number of target creature cards with total mana value of X or less from that player's grave with the battlefield. So you pop the field, and with 3, you can go like that. That 1 drop and the 2 drop on my field. I think it's such a cool commander, and the fact that people are going to be like, you can't run this is dumb. Why are you hiding Sozin behind the Rise of Sozin? Toph, the first Metal Bender, will 100% be seen play everywhere. It's a 3-color commander, and it's like the most popular human character. 1 red, green, white for a 3/3 human warrior ally. Non-token artifacts you control are lands in addition to the other types. Why? Because she can Metal Bend. So all your non-token artifacts are lands. You just run all these good 0 drops, and they can tap for mana. That's great. At the beginning of your in-step, Earthbend Tear. So target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature with haste. That's still a land. Put 2/1 counters on it. When it dies, when it dies or is exiled, return to the battlefield tapped. So you don't lose it. I like that. Okay, it stays on the field. So you can buff you can get all these tokens and boom, right. I like this because it turns all your artifacts into land. But they don't gain the ability to tap for mana. Oh, that's dumb. Never mind. I still like it. It's very flavorful. You were just like moving stuff around. Bam! Bam! And you're thinking, you're processing. That's a land. Okay. Swing that land at that person. Now this one goes at that person. And mind you, that token, that artifact that you made, that Earthbend, you're ready. You're like, boom, it's here. It's this 2/2, right? So I got a protection. You're coming at me, block, it comes back, tapped. Right? Because you can still use it. You're like, hit with that one. Hit with this one. I like it. It's not fast. It's slow. Right? But it is lands entering. There's a lot of stuff you can do. I like it. I think it's interesting. UA, the Moon Spirit's 3 and a blue for a 3/3. Do we have? We do. Oh, that's a cool art. That's her touching. Oh, you can really tell she's that one. But that's her with her asteroid, and then yeah, the cool art. But yeah, UA the Moon Spirit, simple. This is 3 and a blue for a 3/3 spirit ally with flying and vigilance and waterbending 5. So you can tap it. You may cast a non-creature spell from your hand without paying its mana cost, and then, you know, your artifacts creature can help you do that. That's great. That's just omnipotence for free. Now everything's free. Yay! This deck is just all about playing, like, small artifacts and then just big freaking cards. Non-creatures, mind you. But big freaking non-creature spells just to get everything. I think it's an insanely powerful card. I don't know if it'll make it to CDH. It's a little, like, too much mana intensive. Although, I mean, all your stuff, maybe. I could see someone trying it. I like it. That's the 30 cards. This is a short podcast, if you want to call it a podcast. I was just excited for all these cards and wanted to talk about them. So, I'm going to leave it at that today. I think that's simple. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hey. This is a continuation. I just finished that last video on Thursday. It was like 30 minutes. I'm like, that's a short podcast, if you want to call it that, right? And then I realized, oh, crap. It's Friday, and I'm done with work. I wonder if any more cards are... Yeah! A hell of a lot more! So we're going to go over a lot more cards for a second. I think I remember the 30 I already went over, so we're going to skip those, and we're just going to hammer home some cards here. So let's zoom in. We went over that guy, but there's a lot of Angs. So Ang Air Nomad is 3 and 2 white for a 5/4 human avatar ally with flying and vigilance, and other creatures can have vigilance. This is an okay commander. Honestly, I wouldn't build it as a commander. I think it's... Yeah, it's fine, right? I'd probably put it at a 1. I think if you are like, oh, I really want to build a 1 bracket commander, here you go. Just put some cool creatures in there. They all have vigilance, so they can block. Aang's Defense is a white for an instant. Target blocking creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Draw a card. Simple. Simple. Not good. I don't even think this will see play anywhere outside of Limited. We went over that one. We went over that one. Aang the Last Airbender. Here's another Aang commander. They're doing the same thing with Spider-Man, where like they don't have enough characters, so they're like, here's a bunch of Aangs throughout his years. I think it's fine. Aang the Last Airbender's 3 and a white for a 3/2 human avatar ally with flying. When it enters, airbend up to one other target non-land permanent. And whenever you cast a lesson, Aang gains lifelink until end of turn. There's going to be some type of lesson commander, and it'll be kind of interesting. And I think that's kind of fun for Standard, but I don't think lessons will get anywhere else other than Standard. They've never been strong enough. As a commander, there's not enough lessons in white to make this work. Plus, you don't get the bonus thing from lessons in Commander. So unless they add a sideboard, unless Wizard of the Coast decides to add a sideboard to allow you to grab the lessons or the teachings or whatever when you cast lessons, how does that work? Give me a second. Just double checking it. There have been no learn cards so far in this. So lessons aren't attached to learning in this game as of right now. They're just a subtype being used to trigger effects. That's fine. Okay, maybe they just didn't want to add that secondary effect. I think that kind of broke Standard back in the day. Strixhaven did a lot for Standard. I know that for like a fact. But it also really alienates Commander because you can't have a side deck with Commander. It just doesn't work. Anyway, I don't think there's enough lesson cards in white to really make this a good Commander. Maybe if there is it one day, cool. But until then, and it only gives him lifelink. This is a bad Commander. This is another like simple. I mean, he has airbend up to one other target non-land permanent, so you could flicker him a bunch and get something, but I still think this is a 1. Yeah, they gave us a bunch of these creatures, the animals from the show, right? I don't know why I keep doing brackets for everything, right? Well, I guess they are animals, but I mean the animal fusions from the show, like Ardbok Sloth, right? This is a 3 and a white for a 3/3 Sloth Beast with lifelink. It's not good. Airbending attachments is 1 in a blue and a red. Free the hybrid, allowed to be an individual single color decks. Lesson, you discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Fine, it's an instant. You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. I mean, we have a lot of cards that do that. This is just similar, but can be ran in either colored decks in non-commander formats. And in blue commander, you have a better chance. I don't like it, but it's a lesson, so it works for lesson decks. Airbending lesson. Airbending target. Airbend target non-land permanent. Draw a card. Yeah, sure. If you're running a lesson deck, run that. Is it? No, it's not good in Pioneer. Pauper. I mean, allied teamwork 2 and a white for an enchantment. When this enchantment enters, create a 1/1 ally. Allies you can do +1/+1. Great for an ally deck. I don't think it'll make it out of Standard because it's 3. I mean, maybe if a cool ally deck pops up in Pioneer, I could see this working. It's your turn 3 drop. It gets you an ally, which triggers your other turn 1 and turn 2 allies, and it buffs them all. And since allies is going wide, I could see this being worked there. So Standard, maybe Pioneer, and then yeah, an ally deck and Commander would like this. Appa, Aang's Companion. This is a different Appa. This is 3 and a white for a 2/4 Blind Bison with flying, and when it attacks another target attacking creature without flying gains flying children. This is another bracket 1 commander. They're giving us a lot of bracket 1 commanders. And that's going to happen because there's just a lot of, like, this is a legendary, and he's really cool, but he doesn't do a lot, right? Like, there's already a cool Appa that does a lot. This one's just sitting here going, cool, I'm an Appa. Yeah, he's a cool Appa. I like him. This Appa's way stronger. Run him, not him. But he's a cool Appa, okay? We talked about Tech Guy. We talked about Avatar Enthusiast. Azula Always Lies. This is actually a really cool card, in my opinion. 1 in a black for a lesson. Choose 1 or both. Target creature gets -1/-1. Or put a 1/1 counter target creature. This is great in Pauper and absolutely nothing else. I like this in Pauper because either you're going to buff something by 1 or take out a small creature. And there's a lot of small creatures in Pauper that are annoying, so I think it's pretty good. And you get to choose both, actually. So being able to buff one of your creatures and remove a problematic creature. I think this is a great sideboard card in Pauper. Badger Mole is 4 green for a 4/4 Badger Mole. When this creature attacks, you Earthbend 2, and creatures you control with 1/1 counter on them have trample. So this gives your all your Earthbending things trample because they have 1/1 counters. And so when it enters, you Earthbend. So it enters, you automatically get a 2/2. You turn one of your lands into a 2/2 with haste and trample. I think this could possibly see play in Pauper in the right deck. I don't know if there will be, but I think there could be something interesting there. I'm hoping. Probably not. It is a 5-drop. Barrels of Blasting Jelly is 1 generic for an artifact. You know 1-drops are my favorite. Pay 1, add 1 mana of any color, activate only once a turn. Pay 5, tap, sacrifice an artifact, deals 5 damage to the target. This is going to be seeing play in Pauper. Hands down, it's a way to fix your mana. This just fixes your mana. Now, it's once each turn, so it's not broken. But it is a fantastic way to fix your mana in Pauper. Plus, late game, you can pay 5 to pop it, you can pay 5, tap it to pop an artifact. I think that's, or to pop it, and then deal 5 damage to a target creature. I think it's great interaction to remove problematic creatures, but in any 3 or more colored decks will now be playable in Pauper because you can run 4 of these. This just says, oh yeah, let me run these, and now I can fix my colors. Not infinitely fix my colors, but just enough to fix my colors to make it plausible. This is going to see play there. And I talk about Pauper more than any other format other than Commander because it's my second favorite format. Beetle Herder Merchants is 4 in black for a 5/4 human citizen that when this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, draw a card and put a 1/1 counter on this creature. I'm thinking maybe Pauper, but probably not. It's slow, but there is a lot of stuff in Pauper, and especially in this set that they gave us, that can recur itself. So if you can constantly attack with this card and recur it, you might be able to get those 1/1 counters, but there's enough removal that without the protection, this could be problematic. I don't know. It's a 5-drop. I don't love it. Bender's Water Skin is 3 generic for an artifact. Untap this artifact during each other player's untap step. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. This is actually pretty cool. This allows you to untap it during each other player's untap step, meaning you get 1 mana on every single turn. I think this is probably one of the better 3-drop ramps because you can always get 1 extra mana. So if you're running a deck, spell slinging deck in your commander that always wants to cast an extra card or cast like a 1-drop instant constantly that get like stuff going on everyone's turn. Oh, you got to cast 1 spell or 2 spells. This helps you. I think it's really useful there. Pauper wise, I like it too. I think being able to have a second mana or like that 1 extra mana open on your opponent's turn. Plus, you can run more of these. I think a control deck in Pauper would love that. Boomy, Electric Earthbender, Eclectic Earthbender is 3 and 2 green for a 4/4 human noble ally that when it enters, it Earthbends 1. So put a 1/1 counter on a land. When it attacks, you put 2 1/1 counters on each land creature you control. Simple. This is a pretty fun deck. I think people are going to run it. People love Boomy. I think it's a fun Boomy in and out of itself. It entering and only giving you 1 Earthbend isn't great, but if you're running more Earthbend, that's kind of cool. If you're running more ways to make land creatures, that's cool. And just being able to go, hey, let's just put 2 1/1 counters on each land creature you control. Yeah, thank you. And run the few ways to flicker him. Then he'll enter more. He'll make more land, more creatures, and just give you more 1/1 counters to put on stuff. This guy can go out of control pretty fast. Yeah, another Buzzard Wasp Colony is 3 in a black for a 2/2 bird insect flying, and when it enters, you may sacrifice an artifact or creature. If you do, draw a card. When another creature you control dies, if it had a counter on it, put its counter on this creature. I don't think it's great. I don't like it really much anywhere. It's just not. It's kind of a whatever card. Captain of the Guard is 1 in a red for a 2/2 human soldier. It doesn't do anything. It's fine. Cat Gator, or actually not fine. It's bad. Cat Gator is 6 in a black for a 3/2 fish crocodile with lifelink, and when this creature enters, it deals damage equal to the number of swamps you control to any target. This card might see play in Commander. I think in a mono black deck where you run a lot of swamps, which mono black decks tend to do, you could see this card acting kind of like as a second option to the one that does it for your Devotion to Black. but just with swamps. So if you have 5 or 6 swamps, you can flicker this card a few times. You can do a lot of damage with that. Plus, even in non-mono black decks, if you're running the one, the Urberg to make everything black, or everything a swamp, well, I now have 10 swamps, boom. So this card can actually become really gross, and I think could be useful in a lot of ways, because it's any target. That's what makes this good. Cat Owl is 3 and a hybrid white-blue for a 3/3 catbird with flying. When this creature attacks, untap target attack. Artifact or creature. This is fine in some ways. Maybe Pauper likes it, because if you have an artifact or creature that can tap in Pauper that does enough, that's kind of cool. I need to learn more about Pauper. I love Pauper, but I don't know the prominent decks to see what's good there. I just build stupid decks. I'm going to teach myself more about Pauper and maybe make Pauper videos here. Let me know if anyone has interest in Pauper videos. Corrupt Court Official is 1 in a black for a 1/1 human advisor. When this creature enters, target opponent discards card. Again, Pauper. I like cards like this in Pauper. Daily Indoctrination. I love this card. 1 in a black for a lesson. Sorcery lesson. Choose one. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an online permanent card from it. That player discards that card. Absolutely fantastic. Simple way to make them do it. It is 2. It's sorcery speed, but absolutely fantastic option for turn 2, especially in Pauper. And it has Earthbend 2, so you can instead just turn one of your lands into a 2/2 with haste and deal some damage. So that's not bad, and it stays a land. Becomes a creature with haste, still land. Put 2/1/1 counters on it. Oh, this land, yeah, it stays a land. It just gains haste, so you can keep swinging with it. I like it. I think it's interesting. I think it's probably going to see a lot of play in Pauper. I don't like it anywhere else. I just like it in Pauper. Deny Entry is 2 in a blue for an instant. Counter target creature spell, draw a card, then discard a card. I don't like it. I think it's boring and doesn't do enough. There's not enough creatures that you're countering, especially for 3 mana. And it's not just draw a card, it's draw a discard. Desertus Disciple is 1 in a black for a 1 in a blue. What? Wow, I can't color. 1 in a red for a 2/2 human rebel ally. With tap, another target creature with you control with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. I don't like this card. I think they're weak. They don't do a lot. Unless you specifically have a card that you want to hit your opponent with, like a commander, and their power is 2 or less. And then maybe, but there's other ways to do it that are better. Dragon Moose is 3 and a red for a 3/3 dragon elk with haste. It's not good. Don't play it. Earthbending Lesson is 3 and a blue, or 3 and a green for a lesson. Earthbend 4. I don't like it. I think it's weak. Unless Earthbending like really becomes good in Pauper. Earthbending Students 2 and a green for a 1/3 human warrior ally with when this creature enters Earthbend 2. Land creatures you control vigilance. This will be great in a land creature deck, and they're really pushing that land creature deck. There's a few land creature decks out there already, and Earthbending is just going to all fly into that deck probably. But outside of that, yeah, like this is great and boomy. Earth Kingdom Soldier is 4 and green-white hybrid for a 3/4 human soldier with vigilance. And when this creature enters, you put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. Yeah, you can buff your creatures. This is great in a 1/1 counter deck, but it's a 5-drop. So you're not going to see play anywhere except maybe Pauper, and that's pushing it. Earth Rumble is 3 and a green for a sorcery with Earthbend 2. And when you do, up to 1 target creature you control fights target creature and opponent controls. So you can technically Earthbend 2. And then just have your 2/2 fight a creature they control. So you can just, boom. It's not good. Don't play it. Earth Village Ruffians is 2 and a hybrid black-green for a 3/1 human soldier rogue. With this creature dies, Earthbend 2. I mean, okay, I want to say it's not good, don't play it, but I love cards that replace themselves when they die. I mean, 3 for a 3/1 isn't great, but in Pauper, it's not awful. And then if it dies because you're attacking with it, someone kills it, you at least get a 2/2 in replace. A 2/2 with haste. So, like, if someone improperly removes it on your turn before you attack, you can just attack with this. But either way, you get a creature. And the cool thing about these Earth things is they come back tapped if they're exiled or removed, which is great. I love that. So, yeah, like, overall, I really like this card generically in Pauper. Eelhounds is 3 and a green for a 4/2 fish dog with trample, and when it attacks, another target attacking creature gets +2/+2 to tap builder, and I don't like that. I think it's bad. Elephant Rant is 1 in a black for a 1/3 Elephant Rant with Menace. It's not good. Don't play it. Epic Downfall is 1 in a black for a sorcery. Exile target creature with mana value 3 or greater. I think this card is fine in Commander, and that's it. Don't play it anywhere else. Casually. Most casual commanders cost 3 mana value or more, so this is an easy way to remove a problematic commander. That is the only reason why I suggest playing it there. I know it's sorcery speed, which means it's not that good, but I don't hate it. It's a reprint, though, so, like... Oh. Why am I seeing reprints? There shouldn't be reprints here. I only have first print set. Well, anyway, Explorer's good. Give me a second. Let me fix that. I'm back. Explosive Shot is 1 in a red for a sorcery. Deals 4 damage to target creature. I don't like it anywhere. Maybe. I don't know how good it is in Pauper. I talked about that one. Fire Nation Ambush, 2 in a black for a 3/2 human soldier with flash. I love the idea. Hey, that kid's the avatar. I love the concept. It's funny. It's not a good card. Don't play it. Fire Nation Archers, 3 in a black for a 3 in a red for a 3/4 human archer with reach, and pay 5. This creature does 2 damage to each opponent. Create a 2/2 red soldier. Creature token. This card is good. It's good. It's good because it's an outlet. And as I always tell everyone, put outlets in your commander decks, because you're going to run into an issue where a lot of times you just don't have an outlet to do something with. You just have your mana flooded. You don't got nothing to do. And this gives you to do. 5 mana, 2 damage to each opponent, make a 2/2. 5 mana, 2 damage to each opponent, make a 2/2. I think it's great. It's fine there. I don't think it'll see play anywhere else, but I think in Commander, it's a fine way. Plus, infinite outlet is fun. Fire Nation attacks. 4 in a red for an instant, create 2 red. I think we talked about this one. Yeah, we did. It's good. Did we? Yeah, we talked about it. Just in case, 4 in a red for an instant, you make 2 1/1s with the 2 red soldiers with the firebending one, and it's flashback. I don't hate it. Its flashback is 8 in a red, so that's expensive. But I think it's not an awful commander, in my honest, humble opinion. Not commander, card. I don't think it's great, though, but if you're trying to trigger firebending for some reason, it could be useful. Fire Nation Engineer is 2 in a black for a 2/3 human artificer with raid, so that beginning of instant, if you attack this turn, you put a 1 counter on another target creature or vehicle you control. I think this is fine in like a 1/1 counter deck that has black in it, where you're like, yeah, let's just buff stuff, boop, 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 slowly. Like, that's fine. Fire Nation Conquest is 2 in a red for an enchantment creature control +1/+0. I like this type of card. It's a great way to buff your creatures if you're trying to go wide. Goblin decks will love this. Fire Nation Sentinels is 3 and 2 black for a 4/4 human soldier that whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, you put a 1/1 counter on each creature control. This is great, actually. I like this card in Commander and control decks. If you're just removing stuff, non-token creature and opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on the creature you control. So this is a great way to just buff all your small creatures if you're running like the go wide strategy, and you are running interactive removals or one-sided board wipe. So it's board wipe removing like 6 creatures that they're running. And then boom, here's 6 1/1 counters on each creature I control. So there's a lot you could do with this card. I think it's pretty useful, especially if your commander has removal built into it. Fire Nation Soldier, this is just 2 in a red for a 3/2 human soldier with haste. It's not good, don't run it. Fire Sages is 1 in a red for a 2/2 human cleric with firebending 1, and for 1 and 2 red, you can put a 1/1 counter on this creature. I don't hate this because it does have an outlet where you can put a 1/1 counter on it, and it is a counter. So you can just constantly get it bigger and bigger. So I don't hate that. And it has firebending, but it's only 1. It's not equal to its power. So again, if there's a firebending deck, maybe. But outside of that, I don't love it. We talked about first time flyer. Flexible Waterbender is 3 in a red for 3 in a blue for a 2/5 human warrior. Ally with vigilance and waterbend 3. This creature becomes a 5/2, and your waterbend you can tap your artifacts and creatures to pay for the colorless. Becomes a 5/2. Who cares? Flopsy, Boomy's buddy. Yeah, it's an ape goat, guys. Why not run it? A 4 and 2 green for a 4/4 ape goat. When it enters, you put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, and each creature you control to power 4 or greater can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Okay, it's not a good commander. It's definitely like a bracket 1, but I like it. I think it's funny, as it is flopsy. Don't run it. It's not a good commander unless you're trying to build like a fun bracket 1 commander. Flying Dolphinfish is 1 in a blue for a 1/3 whale fish with flying. It's not good. Don't run it. Frog Squirrels is 1 in a green for a 2/2 frog squirrel with reach. Don't run it. It's bad. Geyser Leaper is 1 in a green blue for a 4/3 human warrior ally with flying. A waterbend 4 to draw a card and discard a card. This is technically an infinite mana setup to draw your deck out. They're giving us that. Waterbending is generally just an infinite mana outlet. Yeah, you can draw your deck out. You know, you draw a card, you discard a card. So you basically mill yourself. But you do get a look at the card and go, I want this card, not that card. So that's useful. Making sure that you know you have Thassa's Oracle in your hand. But it's a 5-drop, and you need 4, but it is colorless, and your artifacts and creatures cannot pay for it, so I don't hate it. Giant Koi is 4 and 2 blue for a 5/7 fish with waterbend 3. This creature can't be blocked this turn. And Island Cycle 2. I like the Island Cycles, the land cycles that are 2. And you get an island to real, so that can be like fetch or a dual land or a shock land or something to put in your hand. That's not awful. I like that type of card in like 3 or higher color commander decks because it does a lot for you. Outside of that though, it's not great. Gillicorn is 1 black for a 1/1 lizard with Death Touch. It's not good. Put it in your Death Touch deck though. Glider Kids is 2 in a black, 2 in a blue for a 2/3 human pilot with flying, and when it enters scry 1. I don't hate this because it's flying and it scries you 1. Hakoda Selfless Commander. I hate the art again, but anyways, 3 and a white for a 3/5 human warrior ally with vigilance, and you may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast ally spells from the top card of your library, and you may sacrifice him, and creatures you control get +0/+5 and gain indestructible to the turn. I don't like him as a commander, but I like him in an ally deck. Haru Hidden Talent is 1 and a green for a 1/1 human peasant ally with whenever another ally you control enters Earthband to 1. This is not a good commander by itself, but in an ally deck, it's pretty good. Maybe if there's like a crap ton of green allies, you could probably run it, but honestly, that'd be kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie. I would like to run it anyway. It's still probably like 2. Kiba, Spirit of Balance is 2, and then Hybrid black, white. This is a 3/3 Bear Spirit with whenever it enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, put 2/1 counters on Hiba. When Hiba leaves the battlefield, put its counters on target creature control. I like it. I would run it. It's got such a cool art with the little panda and then the evil demon reflection. Plus the panda stones there. I think this is such a cool card. Is it a good commander? It's like a 2 at most. It's not winning you the game anywhere. But you can definitely get its effects triggered off enough times. Putting 2/1 counters on it easily. You're running it as a Voltron. So you're going to just put equipment and auras on it, which is kind of cool. And yeah, like 2/1 counters every time it attacks. That's not bad. That brings it to 5, and then 7, and then 9, and then 11, and then you're 2-shotting. So, Hippo Cows is 4 in a green for a 5/4 Hippo Cows with trample. It's bad. Don't run it. Hog Monkey is 2 in a black for a 3/2 Boar Monkey that at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control get +1/+1 against minutes until turn, and exhaust for 5. You can put a 1/1 counter on this creature, and then activate each exhaust only once. It only once. So, no, it's not a good commander or a good card. +1/+1 counter at the beginning of combat turn. Target creature you control. Target creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it gets minutes. It's not good. It's bad. Hog Monkey Rampage is 1 in hybrid green-red for an instant. Choose target creature you control, and target creature your opponent controls. Put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. If its power is 4 or greater, then those creatures fight each other. I don't like it. It's a fight card, so it runs in fight decks. How to start a right. 2 and a red for a instant lesson. Target creature gains minutes until a turn. Creature target player controls gets +2/+0 until a turn. Creatures target player controls. Hey, Riot. I mean, it's a cool buff spell, right? Giving all your creatures +2, that could win you the game if you're going wide enough. Iguana Parrot is 2 and a blue for a 2/2 lizard bird pirate with flying and vigilance and prowess. Maybe prowess and popper. Iroh Firebending Instructors, 2 in a red for a 2/2 human noble ally with whenever it attacks, attacking creatures you get +1/+1 till end of turn. I mean, in a very aggressive deck, sure, but as a commander, I don't know if I love it. Like, you're, like, attacking with it. You have, I think there's better, no, we don't have a better Iroh yet. That's annoying. So this is the best Iroh we have as a commander, and I don't like that. Give us a better Iroh, please. They will. They will give us a better Iroh. But, like, as of right now, like, this guy is not worth running. He's bad. It'll cringe you. I think we talked about this, but 1 in a blue for a lesson, for instant lesson, counter target spell unless controller pays 2. It's fine. It's not great, but it's anything, and it's at least 2. I think you could see play, especially like in Pauper. I think in Pauper this will see play a lot of places. This set's giving us a lot of Pauper cards. I'm just gonna say that they're giving us a lot of decent cards. Zhongzhong's Deserters is 1 in a white for a 1/2 human rebel ally with when this creature enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. It's a fine way to buff something. Guitarra Bidding Prodigy, I think we talked about her, because I think we had all, oh no, not all the guitars. 2 in a blue for a 2/3 human warrior ally. At the beginning of your end step, if Guitarra is tapped, put a 1/1 counter on her. Waterbend 6, draw a card. Oh, she's infinite. She just draws you a card for 6. Get infinite mana, you win the game. Great. And all your stuff helps pay for it? Cool. Okay. Guitarra Heroic Healer is 4 in a white for a 2/3 human warrior ally with lifelink, and whenever it enters, you put a 1 counter on each other creature you control. I mean, it's a flicker deck all about putting 1/1 counters on stuff. That's fine. Guitarra the Fearless, we did talk about that. That's an ally commander. This, and you run all the Guitarras in it, by the way. Talked about that. We talked about her. Komodo Rhino is 3 and a red for a 5/2 lizard rhino with trample. Don't run it. It's bad. Kyoshi Warrior Guards, 1 in a white for a 2/3 human warrior ally. Don't run it. It's bad. Lion Vultures, 3 and a black for a 2/2 cat bird with flying. And at the beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a 1/1 counter on this creature and draw a card. I think this is fine. This is a great draw effect. As long as you're hitting people with it, you are going to draw a card each turn. So I think that's good. Probably in this, both in Commander, it's good enough to draw you a card each turn, and probably Standard. Longfang Grand Secretariat is 1, and then green, black, green for a 2/3 human advisor with whenever another creature you control or land you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. So, how is that working here, right? So whenever another creature you control or land you control is put into the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Okay. I guess, like, in an earthbending sense, like, you swing your earthbending, and if they die, they will come back, but then you put a 1/1 counter on Longfang or on another rock to hit them harder. So, you can just, yeah, this works as an earthbending commander, but it also just works to sacrifice a bunch of creatures and make him really big, so. I think he's fine, like a 2. Lost in the Spirit World is 2 in a blue for a sorcery that will return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand and create a 1/1 colorless spirit creature token with this token. Can't block or be blocked by non-spirit creatures. I think it's bad. Don't run it. Loyal Fire Sage is 2 in a red for a 3/3 human cleric ally with firebending 1. Pay 5, create a 1/1 white ally creature token. This is great. This is fantastic. It's another way to just constantly do something with your mana. They are giving us a lot of ways to just be able to pour mana into stuff, and that's something we need in Commander. Master Paku is 1 in a white, 1 in a blue for a 1/3 human advisor ally with prowess, and that whenever it becomes tapped, target player removes X cards, where X is the number of lesson cards in your graveyard. Oh! Okay. Well, I hope there's enough lesson cards to make Paku good, because I love mill decks. Master Poundao is 4 in a white for a 4/4 human warrior ally with first strike. When it attacks, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You will reveal an ally, equipment, or lesson card from among them, put it in your hand, put the rest in the bottom of the library in a random order. Okay, I hope there is enough allies and lessons and equipment in white to make this work. This will work because of equipment. Whether or not you run allies or lessons is beside the point. This will work because you can just get equipment with them and then just run it as a Voltron. Match the odds is 2 and a green for a lesson. Create a 1/1 white ally creature token and put a 1/1 counter on each creature your opponents control. Or on it for each creature your opponents control. Oh. I think it's bad because there's too many issues here. You really have to push the concept of, like, relying on your opponent having creatures. Mechanical Glider is 1 generic for an equipped creature. When it enters, you attach a target creature, it gains flying. I like this as equipped. I like this in Pauper because it's a way to just instantly give something flying. If there's something to do that with, I don't know. Maybe? But, I don't like it really outside of that. Merchant of Many Hats is 1 in a black for a 2/2 human peasant ally. With 2 in a black, you can return a card from your grave. You can return this card from your graveyard hand. I like it in Pauper as a sacrifice outlet, but I don't think it's great there. I think it's viable there, maybe. Momo Friendly Flyer, we already talked about that. Momo Rambunctious Rascal, though, is 2 in a white for a 1/1 lemur bat ally with flying. Whenever it enters, it deals 4 damage to target tapped creature and opponent controls. It's, again, not a great card, but it's Momo, so everyone say hi to Momo. Hi, Momo. Mongoose Lizard is 4 and 2 red for a 5/6 Mongoose Lizard with menace, and when this creature enters, it deals 1 damage to any target and mounted cycle 2. Again, it's got mounted cycle, so I don't mind it. And Ostrich Horse is 2 and a green for a 3/1 Bird Horse that whenever it enters, you mill 3 cards, and you may put a land card from among them into your hand. If you don't, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. I don't like it. Don't run it. Otter Penguin, is it a... It's a common. So with it being a common, there is a chance that could be useful in Pauper as a turn 3 mill option, but I mean, the 3/1's not bad. Otter Penguin's 1 in a blue for a 2/1 Otter Bird that whenever you draw a card, or your second card each turn, this creature gets +1/+2 until end of turn and can't be blocked. It's not good to run it. Ozai's Cruelty is 2 in a black for a lesson that he's teaching him a lesson. That's fucked up. Ozai's Cruelty deals 2 damage to target player. That player discards 2 cards. I like it. I like these cards. I wish it was common so I could run it in Pauper, but it's not, and so that means it's not useful in many places, but I might try it in Pioneer. 2 damage to them and making them discard 2 cards is so fun. It's like Blankening. Path to Redemption is... I think we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that one. Pillar Launch is 1 green for an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 and gains Breach until its turn. Untap it. Pretending Poxbearers is 1 in hybrid white black for a 2/1 human citizen ally that whenever this creature dies, you make a 1/1 white ally creature token. Again, I love these cards. Ones that die that replace themselves are great in Pauper. And here's the Purple Pentapox. This is 1 black for a 1/1 octopus starfish that whenever this creature enters, you surveil 1. Absolutely fantastic. And on turn 1 to just surveil 1. And then for 2 in a black, you can tap an untap creature you control, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. I'm trying something with this in a Pauper deck. Maybe I'll show that Pauper deck out if I can never make it work. Rabaroo Trooper is 3 and 2 blue, 3 and 2 white for a 3/5 Rabbit Kangaroo with landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, this creature gains flying until end of turn, and you gain 1 life. And then Planeswalk 2, again, because it has Plane Cycle 2, it's fine. Like, the other effect is fine because the land enters, this creature gains flying, and you gain a life. It's fine in, like, landfall decks, but being able to just make sure you can Plane Cycle extra in, like, 3 or plus color decks where you need planes, it's not bad. Ruckus Audience is 1 in a green for a 2/1 human citizen that you can tap for a green, or if you control creature power 4 grade taps for 2. You have multiple of these types of cards, and they're great in commander decks where you're running a commander with power 4 grade. Razor Rings is 1 in a white for an instant. Razor Rings deals 4 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. You gain life equal to the excess damage dealt this way. That's fine. It's not great. That's fine. Rebels Captives. Rebellious Captives. We talked about that card. Redirect Lightning we talked about. Rocky Rebuke. 1 and a green for an instant target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature, but yeah. Roku's Mastery is X and 2 red for an instant. It deals X damage to target creature. If X is 4 or greater, scry 2. That's not great. Not gonna lie. And And Rough Rhino Cavalry is 4 and a red for a 5/5 human mercenary and firebending 2 and exhaust 8, but 2/1/1 counters on creature. I think it's bad. Rowdy Snowballers is 2 and a blue for a 2/2 human peasant ally that when this creature enters, tap target creature opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. I don't love it. Sabertooth Moose Lion is 4 and 2 green for a 7/7 Elk Cat with reach and Forest Cycle 2. Again, it's fine for a Forest Cycle. Seismic Tutelage is 3 and a green for a enchantment aura, enchant creature. When this aura enters, put a 1/1 counter on enchant creature. When enchant creature attacks, double the number of 1/1 counters on it. That's great in any 1/1 counter aristocrat deck. Not aristocrat, 1/1 counter Voltron deck. Serpent of the Pass is 5 and 2 blue for a 6/5 serpent that if there are 3 or more lesson cards in your graveyard, you may cast this spell as though it had flash. And this spell costs 1 less to cast for each non-creature, non-land card in your graveyard. If this was common, it'd be good. Outside of that, it's just not doing much anywhere. Maybe in a spot per deck. I mean, 2 for a 6/5. Isn't awful. I could see it being played like standard. Sledding Otter Penguin is 2 and a white for a 2/3 Otter Bird that you can pay 3 to put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Again, it's not great, but it gives you something to do with your mana. Sokka, we talked about Sokka, but this is another Sokka. Sokka, Literal Strategist, is 1 and hybrid blue-white for a 2/4 human warrior ally with vigilance. In that, whenever Sokka and at least one other creature attack, you draw a card. That's called Sokka style. Learn it. I love Sokka. And I think this is cool. This is a fine commander. It's not great. It's like a 2, but it does draw you a card each turn as long as you're attacking something. Talking about the Haiku. Oh, another. Sokka Wolf Cove's Protector. Okay, so this is like way back at the beginning. 2 and a white for a 3/3 human warrior ally with vigilance. That's terrible. Don't run this as your commander. That's awful. Talked about Southern Air Temper. Suki, Kiyoshi Warrior is 2 and hybrid green-white for a star 4 human warrior ally, and its power is equal to the number of creatures you control. When it attacks, you create a 1/1 white ally creature token that's tapped and attacking. I don't mind that. That's a great fine 2-drop, or 2 bracket commander. Talked about the Madrid, we talked about the Rise, we talked... Oh, the Terror of the Serpent's Pass, but as a legendary. So this is 5 and 2... Why 5 and 2 blue for 8/8 serpent with hexproof. It's not great. Don't play it. It's not. I mean, what, you want an 8/8 with hexproof? Okay, cool. I guess. I mean, it's it's 3 shots, people, guys. It's. I mean, if you can give it +3, then maybe you can 1-shot people. It's not great, guys. As a commander, it's a Voltron. That's the best you can do. Toph the Blind Bandit is 2 and a green for a star 3 human warrior ally, and it enters with Earthbend 2, and its power is equal to the number of 1/1 counters on land you to the number of 1/1 counters on land you control. Oh, that's good. So flicker it a bunch and Earthbend a bunch. There's going to be a cool Earthbending deck, honestly, somewhere, and I think it's going to be commander. We talked about that, Toph. Tundra Wall, 1 and a white for a 0/4 wall with defender. It's bad, don't play it. Turtle Duck, 1 green for a 0/4 Turtle Duck. For 3, until end of turn, this creature has base power 4 and gains trample. It's bad, don't play it. Turtle Seals is 3 and a blue for a 2/4 Turtle Seal with vigilance. It's bad, don't play it. There's a lot of bads, don't play it. Vindictive Warden is 2 and a black/red for a 2/3 human soldier with menace with firebending 1, and this creature does 1 damage to each opponent. It has an option to do stuff. If you want to put it in your deck, I won't blame you. It can usually hit someone because someone usually has like 1 creature on the field. That gives you firebending 1. That's not going to do a lot. But if you can just like constantly trigger the 3, it's kind of cool. Here's the thing about the allies. I'm just going to say this right now. The cool thing about the ally decks is that a lot of them are giving everything vigilance. They have firebending and waterbending. Okay, here's what that means. Oh, and earthbending. Okay, so you have to hear me out. Okay, so Firebending gives you red mana, okay? Waterbending effects require you to pay mana to trigger them, okay? But they're not, I don't think there's, not a lot of them are stuck at sorcery speed. They can be activated at instant speed, right? So the idea is you attack with your firebenders that have vigilant, your firebending allies who have vigilance, right? Due to your other allies' effects. That can then also be tapped, and all of that can be jumped into your waterbending effects. And your earthbenders are giving you earth that's flying at people. And if they have vigilance, you can then tap the earth, because it's a creature now, to help pay for your waterbending effects. So it's like everything harmoniously works together. No, airbending, I think the airbending has to be done on... So you can't use any of this stuff to help with airbending. Airbending by itself, it don't work. But, like, the rest really works with each other. And it's kind of really cool. Warship Scout is one for a 2/1 human, 1 red for a 2/1 human scout. This is bad, don't play it. Waterbending lesson is 3 and a blue for a lesson. Draw this card, sorcery lesson. Draw the 3 cards, then discard a card unless you waterbend. 4 to draw 3 and then pay 2. But you can tap your artifacts and creatures to pay it. I think this is play proper. Waterwit is 2 blue for a lesson, sorcery lesson, and as long as or as additional cost of spell, waterbend 5. Return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hand. Draw 2 cards. I think this could also be good. In the proper decks, in a control deck where you're running enough stuff, you can tap everything. Really just bounce 2 creatures and draw 2 cards. I think this could even possibly be the first card I see that can make it to modern. Maybe. I mean, 2 blue in a control, like in a blue-white control deck, if you're running enough creatures and artifacts that help you tap to be able to cast the, pay the waterbending effect, bouncing 2 creatures at your opponent's controls and drawing 2 cards is really good. Watery Grasp is 1 blue for an aura. Enchant creature. Enchant creature doesn't untap during its control. So untaps that waterbend 5. Enchant creature. Owner shuffles it. I don't like that. It's bad. Wolf Cove Villager. This is 1 white for a human peasant. For 2/2 human peasant, this creature enters tapped. It's bad. Don't run it. Holy crap, they give us some awful cards. We talked about Yui. Yuyin Archers is 1 and a red for a 3/1 human archer with reach, and when it enters, you may discard a card if you draw a card. If you're playing a graveyard-based creature, a graveyard-based deck in Pauper, maybe. Zal the Seething Flame is 4 and a red for a 5 for a human soldier with minutes. It's bad, don't run it. Zuko Avatar Hunter is 3 and 2 red for a 4/5 human noble with reach. Whenever you cast a red spell, create a 2/2 red soldier creature token. Another good commander, finally. Yes! Praise the sun god. Dude, cast a red spell, make a 2/2. I love it. This is good. It's fun. Okay? He has reach. Cool. I guess because he can blast his fire in the air. Doesn't have firebending, guys. But he's cool. Thank you for giving us another good... So many bad commanders in this set, guys. I don't want to build them. I'm not going to. I've basically given up on building every commander deck. They make too many commanders. But whenever you cast a red spell, making a 2/2 red soldier creature token is awesome. Okay? Yeah, just run a bunch of cheap red spells, make a bunch of 2/2s, and just win the game. Zuko Exiled Prince is probably worse, but 3 and a... 3 and a red for a 4/3 human noble with firebending 3. When this creature attacks, you get 3 red, and then for 3 extra the top card of the library, you play that card. Okay, so he pays for himself. This is going to give you 1 card each turn. That's not awful. I don't think it's great, but 1 card each turn is still fine casually. Zuko's Offense is 1 red for a sorcery, deals 2 damage to any target. Maybe. But there's the rest of the cards that just got spoiled out of nowhere because why not? Peace.